beasts are closing in. What should we even do, living in this house of sin? The town that dreaded sundown, you can run, you can't hide. The town that dreaded sundown, you can run, you can't hide. Sundown, you can run, you can't hide. The town that dreaded sundown, you can run, you can't hide.
We are live. We are good to go. I'm going to pull up chat here. So we're going to get editing. Let's do this. So the goal right now is to get the plot summary done. I want to get, shoot, if I could finish this video tonight, which is not happening, but if I can finish it, I will be a happy camper. I can tell you what. So first, let's get the sound kind of figured out here. Yuji Shinoda. Okay. I think it's mixed pretty well. I don't think it's going to be overwhelming. Runs the Godzilla Prediction Network, tracking the monster's movements alongside daughter and reporter, tracking the monster's move. Okay, cool. Let me just make sure I can see chat and everything. Okay, cool. Wonderful. So here we go. Plot summary time. Let's first open with something here. This is Godzilla 2000. Be funny if the whole video just cut to the actual movie itself. So let's find a good one. Ideally one where Godzilla's roaring, or maybe like the final shot of the movie. I don't know yet. All right, cool. Volume seems pretty solid. Clip is a bit long. Let me just do this. There we go. This is Godzilla 2000. Sweet. Yuji Shinoda runs... Okay. Godzilla 2000. Godzilla! All right. Now that we've got that, let's go here. And now we actually do the plot summary bit. Okay. I'm actually going to do this because I'm looking down a bit. Just want to make sure the stream is more visible. Yuji Shinoda runs the Godzilla Prediction Network, tracking the monster's movements alongside daughter. Oh, that's right. I got messed up that. Okay. Network. Tracking the monster. I feel like YouTube Studio is a bit messed up right now. So let me just All right, cool. We're good. Let's keep going. Mitsuo Katagiri deploys the network, tracking the monster's movements alongside both his daughter and the reporter. All right, cool. Alongside both his daughter and the reporter. When Godzilla attacked, I'm gonna make that a bit tighter. When Godzilla attacked. Hey, there we go. Okay. I think there was something up with YouTube Studio because chat was just completely dead and I couldn't see anything. And I'm like, okay, is no one watching? I'm like, what the hell is going on? Okay. Let's talk to chat now. I apologize, you guys. I was like, I swear I was like going paranoid. I'm like, I don't see chat active at all. All right. So, first off, good evening, everybody. Remember me from high school? Really awesome to see my channel blow up. Wish you continued success. Best of luck. Oh, man. Okay, cool. I'm going to look at your channel on my other monitor. I'm just curious if I know who you are. I have no clue who you are. That's cool. I'm not going to dox you or anything, I promise. That's awesome though, man. Thank you. Thank you for showing up in chat. I appreciate it. You saw Spider-Man. Cool. I didn't get a chance to see it last night, so I stayed home. Probably gonna see it sometime this week. Might take my brother with me to go see it. I don't know yet. But yeah, so I use CapCut. I talked about this in the last stream. I love using CapCut. I'm a sucker for CapCut. Actually, I wonder, can I do this so we can get chat up on screen? Let me just do this really quick. Hold on, guys. There we go. Much better. Okay, cool. Now let me just see in my other monitor now how that looks. Or I'm an idiot. I could just look at OBS. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Oh, I love having a second monitor now. And it means I can look at you guys. Okay. Here we go. Lizard Boy G's in chat. So to answer your question, Lizard Boy G, yes, I do use CapCut. So I use Premiere to sync everything up, and then I kind of color grade it because I like Premiere's color grading a bit more. And then I use CapCut to do the majority of the actual edits. I love CapCut. I use CapCut for my shorts as well, for sure. Nuclear Goji edits, 100%. It's great for YouTube shorts. Let's see here. What else? Someone said favorite Spider-Man movie. I love Spider-Man 2, the Sam Raimi one. Editing today, I'm at yes, so I'm doing plot summary and then I'm doing the analysis review part. Maybe we'll see how far into that I get. I don't know yet. Typical video, it's hard to kind of give a concrete answer because some are like that, where it takes nothing to edit some videos. Like my Avenged Sevenfold video that I just put out took me maybe 2-3 edits to edit. It was nothing crazy. This one is longer. It's got more intensive edits. So yeah, the Goji soccer clip is somewhere in here. Also, Toku Pop, love the stream thumbnail art. Who made it? I can't remember the artist off the top of my head, but I hired someone off Fiverr. I commissioned an artist to do it. I can't think of their name off the top of my head right now. But they did like a full like 3D render and it was all. I basically was like, here, I'll show you guys. Does anyone remember this? Did anyone grow up with the Wiggles? It was that weird like 3D movie that they made. Yes, this was so weird. But I gave the artist this as inspiration. I was like, I want it to look like this. I want it to look kind of like Lawnmower Man. The artist made it a bit too cute, but that's okay. I don't mind. But yeah, I wanted that kind of like cursed animation look. All right, let's get chat back. There it is. I really should do a better job of crediting the freelancers that I hire. Some don't want me to credit them, so I'd have to kind of remember what's what. But I'm at a point where I commission so much art for my videos that I lose track of who made what. I should maybe credit, but I think part of it is you kind of hire them and then it's like a ghostwriter sort of thing. Like if they explicitly ask for credit, I'll 100% give it to them, but most of the people are just kind of like whatever. They're indifferent towards it. If anything, they don't really want people spamming their stuff, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
The original Japanese
But yeah, here's
director
the soccer
reportedly
clip.
preferred the American cut to his own, which, as far as I'm aware, is one of the only times that has ever happened in franchise history. Following the theatrical,
Like, for example, Eric Zilla is someone that I commissioned for my Godzilla Armageddon video. Full credit and everything there. But there are other artists that, like, for example, the guy that made my thumbnail for Godzilla vs. Destroya was like, I don't want to be credited. Please don't mention my username, please. And I'm like, okay, I can respect that. I get that. Um, Ultra 7 video. So here's the thing with the Ultra 7 video. It's scheduled for next Friday to go live. But I might push it up to this Friday. I told channel members that it would kind of stay how do I put this? I told channel members I'm like I want to give you guys more time to be able to watch it, but I don't have a video ready for Friday. I thought I would. I had this whole deep dive on this AI thing on YouTube that I was covering, but it needs more time to kind of cook in the oven. So Ultra 7 might be coming out this Friday. So maybe. For sure next Friday, possibly this Friday. Average video size when I import. So I use CapCut's upscale feature and I upscale everything to like 8 gigabytes. So it's a huge file. It's massive. And I have like a secondary hard drive that I offload everything onto just for exports. And most I back up. Like my Avenged Sevenfold video, I didn't back that one up. But the ones that I'm like super passionate about, or if they're going to come back, we're like, I'm going to use this in my supercut, then I'll back up the raw file that's the 8 gigabyte thing. Otherwise, if I ever need to pull a clip from one of my older videos, I'll just download it off YouTube.
Porter. When Godzilla attacks Hokkaido, government official Mitsuo.
So now we got to pull up a clip of the Godzilla attack. Oh, I love that. I love that shot right there. Let's get it right when he steps down. There's the explosion.
And the reporter. When Godzilla attacks Hokkaido, government official Mitsuo Katagiri. Government official.
I don't think I've ever said this before. Maybe I have. I hate the fact that I'm kind of like talking a bit too much and not editing as much. Funny story about some of my earlier Godzilla retrospectives, specifically like 54 to about Godzilla versus or a Mothra versus Godzilla, maybe Ghidorah the three-headed monster. I hated editing the plot summary bits. So what I would do is I would find people on Fiverr and I would be like, "Hey, can you edit this for me?" And I would be like, "It's only a minute long." And they'd be like, "Okay." And I'd pay $10 to have it edited. Because my thought was, it'd take me about an hour. I'd rather just pay someone $10 than do it myself. And now in retrospect, I'm like, you're an idiot. Why are you doing that? It's such a waste of money. I don't know. Well, Joey Sullivan, you might get there. You might be able to hear bits and pieces of it in this video. my opinion on the movie. Official Mitsuo Katagiri deploys the military against him. I'll try to lock in tonight. I'm gonna end stream around 11 for sure because I want to go to bed at a reasonable time. I'm getting up super early to go to the gym. So this is the same one I wore to G Fest. This is my favorite flannel that I own, Nart Dog. I went to Tractor Supply and they had this on clearance for like $5, and I'm like, oh, it's nice. And I put it on. I'm like, oh, it fits me well. You know, it's broad in the shoulders. I have really broad shoulders, so I just love how it fits on me. I don't know. I probably have about a dozen flannels though. It's kind of a problem. It started in 7th grade. I just loved wearing flannels, and then as I got older and as I put on more weight, that was when I was like, oh, I can use flannels to cover up that I'm fat. And now it's like I'm just covering up muscles. I'm getting stupidly into weightlifting at this point, and I'm trying to map out if I want to bulk or if I want to go into a cut and have a more lean physique, or if I want to really just embrace getting huge. But yeah, no, when I was big, like when I was 300 pounds and I was fat as shit, I was like, yeah, flannels are awesome because they cover up all your little rolls and stuff. Yeah, I did a big cut actually. I went down from about 300. I was 300 around November, and then got all the way down to 240. And I'm starting to kind of yo-yo back up a bit. I'm at about 250, and I think most of it's muscle at this point just because I've been in the gym and I've been doing a lot of strength training, so I think that's just part of it. I mean, I feel bigger, but I don't feel slower, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to kind of figure out what I want to do. I love doing cardio. I love running. I love cycling. And it's like, okay, you can't. It's to me, my perception is that it's difficult to kind of put on a ton of muscle because cardio inherently burns fat like crazy, but it's difficult because then you got to eat even more. And I'm worried that'll kind of affect my mental state. So I don't know. I don't want to get too personal, but there's a lot of the dieting stuff that I'm really trying to kind of learn more about. But man, once you get into a cut, it's like, this is heaven. You just get in that flow of things. Clashing repeatedly with Shinoda, who. Okay, so I'm here talking about their clash. This would be a good shot to kind of pull from. I'm your favorite YouTuber. Thank you so much, man. How much YouTube do you watch, though? Because I recommend you watch other channels, much better channels. Love me some Red Cow Arcade. Red Cow Entertainment, both channels. Easily one of my favorite channels out there. Clashing repeatedly with Shinoda, who wants Godzilla studied, not killed. Pulled from the ocean floor. A mysterious rock pulled from the ocean floor. You know, I didn't mention this in this video, and I kind of wish I did, but I just am realizing now while editing how much this movie kind of pulls from Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. It's very, very similar with just a lot of the shots, but it's also significantly worse than Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. I don't know. I love Godzilla 2000, but Guardian of the Universe just does everything so much better. A mysterious rock pulled from the ocean floor turns out to be an ancient. Are we buffering? Is that what's going on here? Okay. Whatever plan on making a Godzilla fan film? Probably not. You know, I love making short films. I love making feature films, but there's just such a huge problem with copyright and with Toho. And my thing is when I make a movie or an album or whatever, I want to own it. I want it to be mine. And I just straight up like, if I make a short film and I put money into it and I put time and effort into it, I want to be able to say that this is mine. I can make merch of it. I can do whatever I want with it. And I don't know. I think a fan film would be cool, but it's more just, it wouldn't feel like I made it, even though I would be the person making it. It's like a mental thing. I don't know. I want to work on something that I actually feel is mine. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta get started on some short films. I have so many kind of backlog right now. A lot I'm just sort of stuck in the rut of constantly trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Really struggling right now with coming up with a cool creature design for my upcoming horror short. Um, I don't think it's much of a spoiler. You guys don't even probably. It doesn't matter because the thing's not out yet. But um, it's called Zealot, and it's kind of this like ghost sort of thing of a mangled car crash victim kind of haunting this guy that did a hit and run. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for that car crash victim ghost creature. I don't know. I've been kind of brainstorming because part of it is, I mean, I'd love to go bonkers with it. I'd love to go almost like Junji Ito with it. But that's not within my limitations of what I can do. So we'll kind of see. But dude, that'd be incredible to work with you. I forgot you were in chat for a second. I will DM you actually. I'll run some ideas by you because I am 100% stumped at the minute. Yeah, I'll hit you up. I'll do it after work tomorrow if that's cool. Because then I'll send a bunch of stuff over of what I'm looking for. That'd be awesome. Because I am just stumped at the minute. An ancient alien spacecraft. After awakening, it battles Godzilla. After awakening, it battles Godzilla. Oh, dude, if I was streaming for a whole, that'd be nuts. I've thought about back when I didn't have a full-time job, I really thought about doing marathon streams. Like I really wanted to do this whole thing where I would have locked in and beaten all the Pipeworks trilogy games 100% through all the way. So glad I didn't do that, but yeah, that was a thought where I was like, oh, I could do that for charity and I could play all the Pipeworks games and try to 100% them. And then I played, I think it was Save the Earth for like 4.5 hours, and I think I did one campaign level, and I was like, or like one campaign run, and I was like, I can't do that. I can't do this. I'm going insane. Before landing near Tokyo, where it hacks into city computers and begins altering the atmosphere. Spacecraft. Oh shoot, didn't want to do that. Near Tokyo, where it hacks into city computers. I keep hitting Control S because I'm so used to Premiere crashing all the time. Yeah, I actually just bought Godzilla Unleashed on the Wii. I had it as a kid, and I have been playing a lot of Nintendo Wii lately. So I was like, oh, I want to play Godzilla Unleashed. I found my copy, and it was scratched to shit, and I could not play it. So um, I was like, man, I guess I'm paying $40 for just the disc of Godzilla Unleashed on the Wii. Into city computers and I did actually buy something pretty damn cool. Oh, I forgot how awesome that fucking shot is. I'm such a sucker for creature in the foreground silhouetted by a sunset. I did that in my short film Canopsia, and I just love it. It's I'm such a sucker for that kind of shot. Begins altering the atmosphere. You did. Did I see that? Did you I can't remember because someone else said they were going to make it into a real comic. If you send that to me in any way, I if you want me to keep your name like anonymous or whatever, so that you don't get like sued or whatever, I don't think you would. But for whatever reason, if there's like something, let me know. I will make a video centered around that. I'll promote your work 100%. I'd love to kind of do that and to kind of share your art then, because that'd be really cool. This one right here, the Godzilla. Is it Dennis U 7055? There's a how do I put this? There's an email address in the channel description. If you go there, find that email address. I think it's info.firewoodmedia@gmail.com. You should be able to send me stuff. Nah, okay. You're good. I'm just saying, dude, if you want your art shared. That's cool too. The aliens. I'd still love to see it, but I respect your wishes though. Broadcast their intent to conquer Earth and establish a 1,000-year kingdom. Godzilla rises from Tokyo Bay to fight back. Godzilla rises from Tokyo Bay to fight back. So there's that shot. I know he's not technically rising in the shot, but it works. I'm looking for that very specific shot of the aliens where they're all like weird and smooth. There you are. Oh, it's so weird looking. I kind of miss 90s CGI, begins honestly. Altering the atmosphere. The aliens broadcast their intent to conquer Earth and establish a 1,000-year kingdom. Godzilla rises from Tokyo. All right. Someone asked me a really cool question. Where'd I get all the clips of these movies? This is a rip of the movie. I just have the movie downloaded as an MP4 file. Where did I get it? I'm not going to say. I found it. But this is just the movie. Like, this is all of Godzilla 2000. I have every Godzilla movie on file and in an actual hard drive, mainly for these retrospectives, but also just because I like to watch them. I have a ton of movies all saved on a hard drive that I just kind of watch whenever. It was great when I first moved here because I didn't have any Wi-Fi for a while, so I couldn't stream anything. Most of my DVDs were at my parents' place still. So that was nice. I was just able to plug in my hard drive to my TV and just watch all the movies I had saved already. It was kind of cool. Yeah, I don't really talk much about the manga, but it'd be interesting to kind of do a deep dive on that. The aliens absorb his DNA, hoping to restore their physical. The aliens absorb his DNA, hoping to restore their physical forms, but I want to get the shot of when Orga appears. There he is. Godzilla's regenerative cells prove impossible to control. It's basically pirating on the Internet Archive. And to be honest with you, oh, so Narc Dog, I don't have a record player at the minute. I threw mine out. It was completely bust. Oh my god, I'm so tired. The rubber band, not the rubber band, my god. But there's like the thing that's kind of like a rubber band that's on the inside. It snapped, and it just would have cost too much to replace that. So I'm gonna get a new one eventually. Underneath my TV in my living room, I kind of just have nothing. My Wii's just propped up on boxes. But the goal is to have, excuse me, kind of like an entertainment center where I'll have like a record player, some nice little speakers, and then those speakers will also be hooked up to the TV. So I kind of have a nice home theater, but also entertainment center vinyl record thing. I don't know what brand I think I'll get though, because the one that I had was from like the 70s. It was super old, so expensive to replace. Do I play Giga Bash? Yeah, I play from time to time, not as much anymore. I know I played a little bit on stream The developers gave me a Steam key actually for Gamera. When the Gamera DLC came out, they gave me which I had already bought it. So I was like, thanks. And then I was like, here, I sent it to one of my friends. I was like, here you go. I already paid money for this. The aliens mutate into a massive creature called Orga. After a brutal fight. After a brutal fight, Godzilla allows Orga to. Let me just get that shot. There was more that was wrong with it beyond just the belt being bad. It was a lot. It was a lot of like the internal hardware. I took it to a place and they quoted me and it was just ridiculous. So I don't know. I'm just it is what it is. I'm not too upset about it. Then destroys the creature from the inside with an atomic shockwave. Then destroys the creature from the inside with an atomic shockwave. Let me cut that off here. Because then I'll kind of play a sound. If I could remove any problem about the Godzilla community, what would it be? I think it would be the fact that children can freely talk to adults in this community. I think it has caused a lot of issues already. Like there are just so many disgusting people in this fandom that try to take advantage of children. I've talked about it already in a video, but yeah, I'd say that would be it. But that's kind of every fandom, unfortunately. You know, like I'm just being honest here. That would be the one thing. It's the fact that a lot of kids are just exposed to disgusting people. That's, like I said, the internet. Katagiri, who spent the entire film hunting Godzilla, lingers on a rooftop and meets his end when Bro's just straight up aura farming when Godzilla kills him. It's great. Lingers on a rooftop and meets his end when Godzilla destroys it. Is Godzilla React still on YouTube? I haven't checked in on that, dude. I didn't bring this up in the video. Actually, I didn't because it didn't happen yet. But, should I say? I'll say this. Why not? Godzilla Reacts messaged me. Godzilla Reacts emailed me and was like basically begging that I take the video down and saying that, you know, he'd apologize to me and he would do all this stuff. And I was just like, I'm not going to take my video down. And I'm not, because he wanted me to remove the strike because he was like, it's affecting my monetization. And I said to him, I'm like, I'm not going to take the strike down and I'm not going to take my video down. You have to learn from your actions. Like you stole my video. You've stolen other people's videos because he was upset too that I was telling people to report his channel if they had stolen his videos. And then he just never responded to me after that. So I think I was fair. I was like, I'm just, you know, I'm not going to cave because you're begging me. I don't know. It just didn't seem right to me. I'll tell you this much. I would want to be held to the same standard. If I stole someone's content, outright stole it, and they flagged my channel, I would not be begging in their Gmail. I would accept that and learn from it and go, maybe I shouldn't steal content. I don't know. Just a thought. But I thought about doing a video, but I'm like, you know what? No, that's punching someone when they're already like 6 feet in the dirt. Like at this point, he is just cooked. I had another email that I got. I really thought about doing a video where I just responded to my emails because I had some unhinged ones in there. I don't know if you guys, I know a lot of people saw it, but I don't know if you guys, like my returning viewers, actually saw it. My Turner Classic Movies video, where I talked about how that channel is slowly kind of falling from grace just because the quality is garbage now. But regardless, um, that video did really well. I had a Turner Classic Movies employee email me, and they sent me this very long-winded thing that was calling me. They were like, "You're ungrateful. We're doing so much for classic cinema. It's not for you. Keep stop. Like stop making this video. You're only making this video for attention. You don't actually watch Turner Classic Movies." And it was this whole thing, and he signed it off by saying an anonymous TCM employee, and his email address had his full legal name as the email address. And I just responded being like, "Hey, just letting you know for future reference, don't send someone something like this and then have your full name as your email address." And then I was also like, the fact that you lashed out at me as a TCM employee kind of proved my point, because the point of the video was that they were very out of touch with their audience, and that they didn't understand why people watch Turner Classic Movies. It wasn't because they wanted to buy wine subscriptions. And so, but the point in my reply to his email was, I was saying like, you're not understanding. The point of the video was, you guys don't care about your audience. You now are lashing out at someone who is in your audience for not liking the garbage that you're putting out. It was really funny. He never responded to me again, but it was just so, I wanted to make a video so badly and be like, this email is insane. I was just like blown away by it itself. Yeah, I love Turner Classic too. It came from a place of love. It came from a place of, I want this to be good. I think most 99.9% of the time I'm negative towards something, it's because I want it to be good, and I want it to improve, and I want it to be better. And it ends up not happening. Either people that support it get the wrong idea because they assume negativity is always just coming from a bad place, as opposed to, I want to be constructive and I want this to be better, if that makes sense. Like the Dr. Skipper video. I mean, I end it by saying, "I'm not mad, I'm disappointed." Like, the only time I think I'm actually like not being constructive, or like I'm outright like, fuck this, is like when it's something like Godzilla Reacts, where they steal content and there's nothing of substance to what they make. But when it's something like the new Avenged Sevenfold EP, and I made that video, it's, this band is good. They make good music. I want them to continue to make good music. And that's sort of where that comes from. I think most of my stuff comes from that mindset, as opposed to just blind hatred. I don't know. I hope that comes across, because that's what I'm trying to do. Godzilla is remembered fond. Oh, hold on. Something got fucked up there. Oh, I got one more bit of plot summary here. Destroys it. Shinoda watches the destruction and concludes that Godzilla is a reflection of humanity itself. Godzilla 2000. Thank you so much. On near you forever, girl. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Goji soccer part's a ways back. Let me just finish editing this, and then I'll bring it up. Concludes that Godzilla is a reflection of humanity itself. God. Let me do a quick kind of fade in. I don't want to make it too loud, but I don't like how the music's playing. That might flag. We'll see here. It's 4 seconds. Okay. I think if we do a longer fade out, it should work. Humanity itself. Godzilla 2000 is remembered fondly by fans. I know I want. Oh, it's such a cool shot there. I love that shot. Okay. Plot summary is done. Let's go. Who was it in chat? The Sanibel wanted to see this, and I just kind of just played it over a random part, but the original Japanese director reportedly preferred the American cut to his own, which, as far as I'm aware, is one of the only times that has ever happened in franchise history. Following the theatrical run, Schlesinger. So there you go. It was just, I just kind of played it over something while I was just talking about a different topic, but I don't know, it was funny. Let's do plot summary. We'll watch it, see how it looks, and then we'll kind of start the analysis segment. 2000. Yuji Shinoda runs the Godzilla Prediction Network, tracking the monster's movements alongside both his daughter and the reporter. When Godzilla attacks Hokkaido, government official Mitsuo Katagiri deploys the military against him, clashing repeatedly with Shinoda, who wants Godzilla studied, not killed. A mysterious rock pulled from the ocean floor turns out to be an ancient alien spacecraft. After awakening, it battles Godzilla before landing near Tokyo, where it hacks into city. I don't like that. Spacecraft. After awakening, it battles Godzilla before landing near Tokyo, where it hacks into city computers and begins altering the atmosphere. The aliens broadcast their intent to conquer Earth and establish a 1,000-year kingdom. Godzilla rises from Tokyo Bay to fight back. The aliens absorb his DNA, hoping to restore their physical forms, but Godzilla's regenerative cells prove impossible to control. The aliens mutate into a massive creature called Orga. After a brutal fight, Godzilla allows Orga to swallow him whole, then destroys the creature from the inside. Katagiri, who spent the entire film hunting Godzilla, lingers on a rooftop and meets his end when Godzilla destroys it. Shinoda watches the destruction and concludes that Godzilla is a reflection of humanity itself. Godzilla 2000. Great. Perfect. Good. Got it. Great. Out of any character in any Godzilla movie, who would you say is your favorite human character? I love Koichi from -1. Koichi's fantastic. Shoot, I gotta think. Captain Gordon. Captain Gordon, hands down, one of my favorites. I love, I guess she's human. I was going to say Katsura from Terror of Mechagodzilla. I've always been a huge fan of. I think, you know what? I take it back. Katsura is my all-time favorite. I love Katsura as a character. There's a reason I talked about her for so long in my video on Terror of Mechagodzilla. Easily, I love how she's half cyborg, or I guess cyborg is half human, half machine. Love Katsura. Easily, hands down. Godzilla 2000 is remembered fondly by fans for the suit design, Orga, and generally bringing the franchise back to its roots. Don't worry, I will be gushing. Now, the fun part about editing analysis segments of my retrospectives is that I can just straight up not have that many clips showing because it's me talking to the camera. That is the most important part. Roots. Don't worry, I will be gushing about all of those elements shortly, but its political leanings are often overlooked. By 1999, By 1999, Japan was 10 years into its lost decade. The economic stagnation. By the way, I brought this up. I was in Goji Guy's live chat earlier today while I was eating dinner, and I brought up I really want to do a panel at G-Fest, and something I pitched a while back was doing Let's Argue Live and having people basically like be me up on stage. It would be my buddy Zeth and probably someone else, and we would kind of like have people come up. They'd walk up to the mic and they would say their opinion, and then we would all agree or disagree with it. And so the whole thing would kind of be just an opportunity for people to, talk to me, you know, because that was a big, like, I still get comments with like, man, I've missed you at G-Fest. And I'm like, how? It's very difficult. I'm very tall. But I think that'd just be a fun opportunity to have more fan engagement, and it would be a panel that would get the viewers involved, you know? I don't know. It might be neat. But it wouldn't be like a live debate. It would just be, you'd say your opinion, and then it would go to us. Like there wouldn't really be much of a rebut. We would just kind of just react to the opinions or whatever. Kind of have fun with it. I don't know. I was gonna look something up. Oh. Let's see what would be. Okay, that's a book. This seems like a good picture to pull from, I would assume. Just read up on this. Yeah, 96. Okay, good. Oh, that's a different video. It's my Star Wars AI slop video that I'm cooking up. Yeah, it's difficult I think for a lot of people because they know me as just this and I think they don't understand how tall I am, how big I am. I mean, shit, there were people that were like like they forgot that I had a mustache or, like they're expecting me with a beard. Because I mean, you think about it, my appearance has changed so much as of late. It's been long hair Cole for like the first half of the retrospectives, and then it was me with a beard and long hair, and then the long hair went, and then it was me with a beard. Then I was clean shaven with really short hair, and then I had a mustache, and then I had a beard again, and then usually it's kind of like a clean shaven beard mustache, and then like the mustache goes, and then I'm clean shaven again, and then the beard comes back. So I'm kind of like a chameleon. It's hard to figure out what the hell I even look like half the time. That's just me being bored with my appearance, though. I love changing up how I look. I don't know. I think that's the best part about being a guy is that like I just can be bored and be like, yeah, I'm gonna grow a mustache now, and then I just have a mustache. Like I don't play any Roblox. Period. I don't know. I just think I'm not in that age demographic by far. It just doesn't interest me in any way. I know that people are doing really cool things in the Godzilla fandom on Roblox. I'm not going to disparage that by any means, but it's just, I don't know. It's not for me. I don't think I'd ever play it. Yeah, that was sort of a one off. I didn't know much about that. I had people reach out telling me that I should cover that drama, and so I did. To its lost decade. The economics. Did I save the other? Oh, it'd be screenshot, right? There it is. Stagnation following the collapse of its asset price bubble and national confidence built through its post war economic miracle had been genuinely shaken. 10 weeks. All right. The one part that gets kind of screwy with the CapCut transcript feature is that it's once you start going off script, like I do a lot, then it starts to get all messy and doesn't know that, oh, he's just talking like a person. Instead, it's like, oh no, he's messing up. He's being repetitive, and it's like, no, I just say the same couple phrases. I'm like a robot. I can't help it. I think it's so funny how people think I use ChatGPT for some of my videos, and I'm like, dude, most of my videos are either improvised, and if they're not improvised, it's so much proofreading and writing to the point where it's all me. That's why this video here took like 2 months to write. Like, brother, if it was ChatGPT, this would have been out like during the Biden administration. Like, it would have been out so much faster. My God. Yeah, my YouTube feed's been really weird lately, honestly, myself. I keep getting recommended stuff I just do not care about. Had been shaken 10 weeks before the film opened. Japan 10 weeks before the film opened, Japan experienced the Tokaimura critic bubble, and national confidence built through its post-war economic miracle had been shaken. Did I fuck that up? Had been Oh, okay. Makes sense. Okay. Had been genuinely shaken. 10 weeks before the film opened. Let me get a cool transition here. There we go. It's kind of retro. Of its asset price bubble and national confidence built through its post-war economic miracle had been genuinely shaken. 10 weeks before the film opened, Japan experienced the Tokaimura criticality incident. Improper handling of nuclear fuel. All right, let me see here. The reason I'm looking this up in this monitor is just because I am looking up pictures of a tragedy, right? It's I just want to make sure that nothing bad is going to end up on screen. I don't want to get the stream taken down, but I also don't want you guys to have to see anything bad. So I just want to make sure. But yeah, it's the Tokaimura criticality incident. Yeah, I'm very glad I didn't pull this up on stream. In case you guys don't know, this is Wendigoon made a video on this. It's the guy that was like kept alive for like 83 days, and he was like pretty much melted, and they kept him alive. It's horrifying. House on the Rock. I'm gonna go there for my birthday. I've never been. I've always wanted to go. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I am so happy that I didn't pull this up on stream. My God, this is some of the most gruesome imagery ever. Give me something Google that I could actually show in a video. My God. This is, I think, the best I'm going to get. Tokai Mura incident. So Tokai Mura. Mura. Tokai Mura. But Wendigoon made a really good video on it. I highly recommend you go and check that out if you are curious. I was going to go more in depth on it, but it just got to a point where I'm like, people aren't here to listen to real life stories of people being melted. Like, it's gruesome and just depressing. I'm like, I can't go too into this. I understand that, yes, it is relevant to the video, but it's a bit much. Or a criticality incident. Improper handling of nuclear. But yeah, basically the gist is they were filling in uranium into this container, and the way they poured it in was when they dumped this uranium in, it kind of just went and just shot into the whole room. And I'm pretty sure it was the guy that was dumping it was the one that ended up getting melted. The guy that got AIDS, I think he got like a really like bloody nose or something, and then he was pretty much like, I think he died shortly after. Or maybe he died immediately, and there's a third person in the room where they were pretty much fine. Like they were very sick but they were able to like completely survive that incident. But it just came down to they were rushing to try to get this material into there, and it didn't go too well. It was plot, killing 2 workers and shattering public trust, and I think the third guy lived. Yeah, I'm very happy I didn't pull this up on stream. Public trust in the nuclear industry. Then there was Y2K. I said it was gruesome. I said it was really gruesome. It's a tragedy. And I'm not going to get political by any means, but I very much fully support nuclear power 100%. And it's sad that stories like these make nuclear power look bad. Because, in my honest opinion, I think that with proper training, it'd be a great solution to the climate crisis. It'd be a great solution to a lot of things. I really do think that nuclear power is a beautiful, beautiful energy source. It's just a shame that horrific incidents like this happen from negligence, from poor training, you know. And then Y2K. I feel like this one I could pull up on screen, but I'm just going to be really yeah, it's not what I wanted at all. Yes, this is perfect. Man, Y2K is such an interesting topic. My mom told me stories about when she was working when Y2K happened and how the place where she worked, there were a lot of computers, and she was basically like, they had to back everything up, and it slowed everything down tenfold because there's just so much hysteria that all their systems would just go under. Yeah, I agree with you that nuclear power isn't bad for the environment. What I was saying was it's a perfect alternative to like coal, for example, or gas. Like I'll take nuclear over all that. Nation would simply stop working the moment time ticked forward. Both anxieties might also be a bit of a hot take. I love how nuclear power plants look. I just think they look neat. Nation would simply stop working the moment time ticked forward. Both anxieties, nuclear and technological, hang over everything the film does. And this is the soil that Godzilla 2000 grows from. Godzilla here is. Let me get a really cool kind of transition here. In the nuclear industry. Then there was Y2K, the fear that the systems sustaining modern civilization would simply stop working the moment time ticked forward. Both anxieties, nuclear and technological, hang over everything the film. Let me find more really quick. Oh my god, the Y2K command center. Ah, that's a funny picture. God. I'm sure some people in chat remember this if they were old enough, which is weird to think about, but I mean it was 14 years ago now, I think. No. No, there's 13. Wait. Oh my god, it was 14 years ago. The 2012 Mayan calendar apocalypse thing that where everyone thought the world was going to end in 2012. That was funny. It does. And this is the soil. That'd be a fun deep dive, honestly. Yeah, it's pretty nasty stuff. Um, Actually, good question. What does the Y in Y2K? I feel like it's a year. Oh, year. Okay, year 2000. Y stands for year. Okay. I thought it was something simple. Hang over everything the film does. And this. Chat, remember when I said that I loved editing this section of the video because it was usually the most low maintenance to do? I remember. Hang over everything the film does. And this is the soil that moment time ticks forward. Both anxieties, nuclear and technological, hang over everything the film does. And this is the yeah, I'll do a video on Mega Gears. I'm covering all the movies, man. All the movies, all the TV shows. It'll just take a bit. Like this video was a ton of research, just considering all the history. But the Mega Gears video, I did a fair chunk of research, and it's not as intensive as this one, just because it doesn't pull from much historical stuff. I don't know. um, because it has to do with Y2K. It's everything was 2000 back around that time. Like it was just a marketing gimmick. The plot of the movie is about Y2K in a way, so they made it 2000 because it's almost like Godzilla Y2K. Speaking of, let me pull a clip from that shot. I'm actually gonna go here. I want the one of it like hacking the building. Brandon Tenold, pretty cool. I watched a lot of his stuff when I was a kid. I haven't revisited it lately. Um, I had talked about this, I think, in my last live stream, but um, I've stayed away from watching a lot of Godzilla content on YouTube solely for the reason that, like, I don't want it to affect any of my opinions, or I don't want to accidentally plagiarize something. Like, I don't know. I feel like I just have it, like, I could just see myself watching a. I'm just throwing this out there because you brought him up, Brandon Tenold. I could just see myself watching one of his videos and then internalizing something that he said, and then I end up repeating it when I inevitably go off script in my videos. It's actually crazy how much I go off script in my videos, and that's sort of why I try to be so goddamn careful of not watching other people's stuff, just so that I don't internalize something and then kind of go from there. It's not malice. I'm not trying to like steal people, not at all. It's not plagiarism. Or I mean, if I end up doing that, then that would be. But what I'm getting at is it comes from a place of passion for me where I just kind of like I'll write out the whole script and then I'll just start talking to the camera and I'll be like, "Oh, and then there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this." That is where I think I would end up repeating something that someone else has said because it's that I treat that like just a reference in my head and then I kind of go from there. As long as I think you credit the person, it's cool. But when you're going off script, it's difficult to kind of credit stuff. Didn't want to do that. I love Bob's Burgers. I think it's a really cute, wholesome show. I think it's something that is like that type of like wholesomeness is really, excuse me, it's lacking in a lot of adult animation. Like there's not much swearing, there's not much sexual stuff. It's just fun. I don't know. Godzilla 2000 grows from. Godzilla here is not a villain. He's not even an antagonist. I am Dan. Haha. Hello, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I personally love going off script, but that's also where I end up screwing stuff up because I end up um getting excited talking about something and I end up basically going, "Oh, and then this happens and then this and then I end up either saying something wrong or cuz I don't fully explain it, I don't fully articulate myself, and it ends up getting kind of screwed up." Godzilla here is not a villain. He's not even an antagonist in any conventional sense. He's a fact of Japanese life, as reliable as typhoon season or tornado season. Shinoda's Godzilla Production Network season. Shinoda's Godzilla Production Network treats him... We'll actually start this with a zoom in and then we'll cut back. Shinoda's Godzilla Production Network treats him the way that meteorologists treat a storm system, which sets up the film's real conflict. It's two philosophies about how to relate to something far more powerful than you. Shinoda wants to understand and preserve Godzilla, Katagiri wants to kill Godzilla. I think I should just play the clip. No, because I do talk about it later. I talk about it later where I say that I like that scene where they're both talking to each other and they pretty much outright say that. You know what? I'll do it. I'll just throw the clip in there. Let me find this. Right on. That's awesome. I really want to get back into stop motion animation. I'm like, I got to just make something. I haven't made, I mean, I say that as I'm editing a fucking video, but in terms of a super ambitious creative project that isn't a YouTube video, I got to make something. It's been so long.
Hello, Shinoda. It's been a long time.
Not long enough. I'd hope never to see you again.
I know.
God,
You
the
and
dialogue
Misaka
is
were
so
a fine
funny in
team.
this scene.
You should have come with them when I established CCI.
Not in 1,000 years. I could never work for a man like you.
Why not? We both have the same goals.
Boy, that's a real laugh. Godzilla needs to be studied.
The dub isn't bad. It's just, I don't know. There's just something about it that just, it's very stilted at times.
Godzilla needs to be studied. He's a gold mine of knowledge. Well, you couldn't care less. You just want to kill him before we fully analyzed him.
Oof, 8 seconds. That's a bit rough. This is a clip that I could see getting claimed. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to mirror it and zoom in even more. Godzilla.
Godzilla needs to be studied. He's a gold mine of knowledge. Well, you couldn't care less. You just want to kill him before we fully analyzed him.
Something I do love about this movie is that Katagiri is not a... I should put a piss filter, shouldn't I? I'll do that too. Video... I think it is adjust. Yeah. Do we saturate it? No, that's by hue. I want the whole thing. Hold on. There it is. Yeah, almost like black and white. That'll look better. Godzilla.
Godzilla needs to be studied. He's a gold mine of knowledge. Well, you couldn't care less. You just want to kill him before we fully analyzed him.
Something I do love about this movie is that Katagiri is not a villain by any means. His argument is very coherent, and it's one that I think most people would agree with. Whatever scientific value Godzilla brings to the table, it just can't justify the destruction that he causes. But the film also shows his obsession is rooted in something. But the film also shows his obsession is rooted in something less rational than policy. It's personal, almost spiritual. Now let me add in. Oh, this might be a really cool edit. So I do all that, and then I do the part where then he defends himself.
Well, you couldn't care less. You just want to kill him before we fully analyzed him.
No, Tsuburaya has claimed me more than Toho ever has. Tsuburaya claimed a ton of my videos. Like, Ultra Q needed to go through like 8 rounds of revisions. Ultraman 66, that got hit hard. Ultra 7 I had to take down, and then the original version is available for channel members right now. No, Subaraya has been so much worse. I've had maybe 2 total Godzilla videos get claimed, and it was Return of Godzilla and then Godzilla versus Biollante. Those 2 were the only ones that got claimed, and I just added a little filter and it was fine. Yeah, Subaraya is bad. It's to the point where part of me almost wants to like cancel my Ultraman retrospective series after Ultra 7 just because it's been so much of a hassle dealing with the copyright claims that I just almost want to not cover any more of the series. Just full transparency. I mean, Return of Ultraman is written. Let me just check actually. Let me see what is written. Return of Ultraman is written, and Ultraman Ace is written. The only ones that aren't yet from the Showa run are Taro, Leo, and 80. I still need to do that. And then from there, I'm going to do big combo compilation videos where it's Ultraman Revival, New Gen. Revival's going to be one video, New Gen's going to be the other, where I just speed run through each season just because with some of them I don't have much to say, so it's like I'm gonna just kind of go boom, boom, boom with that. Cover Shin Ultraman, Ultraman Rising. Though Rising and Shin get their own videos, and then I'm doing a video titled something like "The Ultraman Movies Are Weird," and I go over the history of all the Ultraman movies, again in a boom, boom, boom kind of fashion, and skim through a lot of the stuff, mainly treat it almost like historical. So that's the sort of the goal, and then I'll put out that retrospective on Ultraman. But yeah, we'll see kind of how that happens though with copyright. Like if it gets to Return of Ultraman and that gets claimed as bad as Ultra 7 did, then I'm thinking about just throwing in the towel and being like, okay, I'll finish it, but it's going to be members only. Like you have to be a channel member to watch it. Probably not. I don't think I'm going to do a tier list. I think I mentioned this on the channel before, but once Supernova comes out, I should be pretty much done with the retrospective series. Like, I should be up to date by that point, and I'll cover Supernova, and then I'll put out the big supercut video of all my retrospectives, and then I'm kind of taking a break from YouTube for a while, uh, just to kind of like creatively refresh, and then we'll kind of see what the channel is beyond that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not too keen on because I feel like at that point, then I would have to do a tier list every time a new Godzilla movie comes out, and it's like you're just remaking an hour-long video for 2 seconds of a this is C tier or this is B tier or whatever it ends up being. So that's just sort of how I feel about it. I feel like it's a sticky situation.
And in the meantime,
Ultra Monsters tier list sounds like a nightmare. Just being honest, there's so many.
he just levels Tokyo.
Of course not. That's why I created the network.
He just levels Tokyo.
Yep, that's the plan. It's probably going to be it's very likely just going to be like a 20-hour long video. What is my favorite Twilight Zone episode? Good. Oh, dude, great question. I love the Twilight Zone. I just watched Talking Tina. I just watched it. Let's see. What is my favorite episode? I love Midnight Sun. Midnight Sun is probably my favorite episode ever. I watched it after I made my first feature, and my first feature is called Another Day Closer to the Sun, and it's pretty much the same concept of the Earth is spinning towards the sun, and it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter, and that's the premise. And it was while I was editing that movie that I stumbled upon Midnight Sun, and I was like, oh shit, I ripped off Rod Sterling, and I didn't even realize it. The Mask one is great. That one's good. I love Eye of the Beholder. I love what is it? The William Shatner one where he's on the plane. I love. I mean, there's so many. What is it? The one where he drops his glasses, they break. Time Enough at Last, I think it's called. I think honestly, a big passion project that would be a whole lot of fun would be once this Godzilla retrospective series ends, I put more effort and energy into short films, feature films, and then longer retrospectives where I cover shows. Like for example, I wouldn't upload every week. Instead, you'd get maybe one upload a month. And let's say, like in like September, for example, you would just get one video from me, and it would be The Twilight Zone, a retrospective. And then it would be me covering every episode. I go super in depth on everything. I think that might be the direction I take the channel in, if I'm being completely honest. I really want to go more in that direction. I don't want to be like Pyrocynical where I post like 2 videos a year because I have such a high standard for them. Like I'm never going to make a separate channel where it's like Firewood Media Live and I make slop content. I'm going to just make low effort videos on this channel and then have high effort videos come out the same week. Like I'd rather just do that. I'd rather it all be under one umbrella. That's just me. I know that people have told me in the past, like, oh, you should make a separate channel for your short films, or oh, you should make a separate channel for the Godzilla stuff. But I don't see a point in that. It's like, you're kind of here just to see the stuff I post. And it's like one less thing for people to go and check out. I don't know. That's sort of my opinion on it. I don't get the point of there being second channels or whatever. It's like, just post it to your channel. It's you. Who cares? The only reason that I have separate channels for me, though, is Firewood Archives is one that not a lot of people know about. I don't think I've ever talked about this actually on stream. I think this is like the first time I think I've ever publicly addressed this channel. Maybe. There was Firewood Sports. And that was like a one and done thing where I posted like one YouTube short and I was like, fuck this. It is not worth my time. Here we go. All right. So this is a channel that I made. It was called Firewood Archives, fully nonprofit. What happened was I had inherited some rare vinyl records that were polka records, and I digitized them and then I posted them because there was nothing on them online. And my thought was, how cool would it be if like this dude's grandpa right here, this dude's grandson, like stumbled upon this online and was like, oh cool, someone archived my grandpa's polka record that he made with whoever the hell this is, his brother, like something like that. And so I archived these. A lot of them were just so damaged, though. So I just was like, whatever. And then this is a Decibully album that got taken off streaming. So I just threw it up here because it wasn't on YouTube at all. Yeah, the goal of this was just to basically save lost media and to try to restore old music projects. But it's kind of fallen by the wayside. I haven't posted this in a very long time. The other one that I did was... do I still have my channels available? I don't. Yeah, you can't even find it if you Google it. But the idea behind it was like a sports channel for Firewood Media, and I just straight up took it down. And then I covered some sports stuff anyways. Like a lot of this stuff was supposed to be meant for that channel, and I just never did it. But my hair looks gross in that. Ugh. Cut your hair, dude. I'm trying to think, what are some other side channels that I had? I had Firewood After Dark, which was supposed to be like an Oni Plays kind of gaming channel with my friends. And we posted like one video and then it bombed. And then I just posted it to this channel when I had like maybe 1,000, or no, I think I probably had less than 1,000 subs at this point, but it was Kerbal Sleep Paralysis. It was just us playing Kerbal Space Program. And it randomly blew. It did really well. But I don't know. From everything that I've kind of pieced together, it's that stay away from second channels, man. Just keep everything on your own channel. Be a variety channel too when you're starting out. That's what I did. I mean, like look at my early channel, Distressed Jeans. That's my buddy there. a podcast, tier list, let's play video. I mean, this is like a documentary that I made, short horror films, movie reviews. You know, like when you're first starting your channel out, just go crazy. Make as much weird stuff as you want. Who cares? No one's watching your stuff anyways. That's the fun part, honestly, is when you're first starting out, you can post whatever you want. In his final moments, when Godzilla finally comes for him, Katagiri doesn't run. He just lights a cigarette, shoves Shinoda away, and when Shinoda tries to save him, there's something in that final moment that looks like satisfaction. A man Thank you for the gold coin, Guido Goji 91. I appreciate it. Okay, now I gotta go back. Where's the one where he's aura farming? Is that here? Thank you for the stars, too. I appreciate it. God, I was going full Unk mode last time. People were sending me gold stars and whatnot. I had no clue what it was. Katagiri doesn't run. Katagiri doesn't run. He just lights a cigarette, shoves Shinoda away. Shoves Shinoda away, and when Shinoda tries to save him, there's something in that final moment that looks like satisfaction. A man meeting the thing he spent his entire life trying to destroy. Because let's be okay, we're not gonna zoom in, but we are gonna mirror this, I think. His entire life trying to destroy. Actually, I think what we should do too is add some saturation, add some warmth to it. Perfect. Because let's be real, deep down inside, his posture toward Godzilla was never really about public safety. It was ego. He needed to dominate what refuses to be dominated, and he pays the price. The original 1954 Godzilla film was unmistakably about and when Shinoda in his final moments when Godzilla finally comes for him, Katagiri doesn't run. He just lights a cigarette, shoves Shinoda away, and when Shinoda tries to save let me go here. I want to clean this up a little bit. Comes for him, Katagiri doesn't run. He just lights a cigarette, shoves Shinoda away, and when Shinoda tries to save him, let's be real, deep down inside, his posture toward Godzilla was never really about public safety. It was ego. It was ego. He needed to dominate what refuses to be dominated, and he pays the price. The original 1954 Godzilla film was unmistakable. All right, so now let's go back to that one scene pack of Godzilla 54. I'm really happy with how that edit turned out. This is me right here riffing now. I completely just stopped using the script and I'm just improvising at this point. Like you can see when I start making faces like that, I'm getting into it. I'm getting passionate, dude. My God. Like it's ego. I'm like, yeah, dude, get into it. All right, here we go. Let's find a cool clip. I love that shot. It looks like a mushroom cloud, man. It's great. price. Yeah, so if I get something wrong, I'll just kind of like stop and then just say that sentence again. I try to kind of pace. I mean, this is something I learned in broadcasting in college, but I try to have a lot more pauses in between when I speak. Just in my natural life, I do that. It kind of gives me time to stop, think, know what I'm going to say, just to avoid a lot of the ums, yeah, like I do that when I'm really tired. Like right now, I'm exhausted, but that's just something I try to do. So I try to pause when I speak so I know exactly what I'm going to be saying. I don't sound like an idiot. And that's helpful when I'm making videos because you can easily like, okay, if that's a mistake there, I can just, that pause is already kind of built in. I can just cut it and then move that there and then it's good to go. Like you can almost see how structured a lot of my beats are. Like it's very consistent throughout because it's just something that I've practiced over time of trying to have a nice cadence, a nice rhythm to how I speak. That's preferable to listen to, with broadcasting. The original 1954 Godzilla film was unmistakably about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and especially the Lucky Dragon incident. It was Japan's way to process a trauma that was too enormous for direct treatment. Godzilla 2000 reaches back to that function. We might actually get this video done tonight, boys. 2000 reaches back to that function. He feeds on nuclear reactors. Hostility aims squarely at the infrastructure of modernity. He feeds on nuclear reactors, and yet his cells... Godzilla 2000... So right here, Goji Master asked me this. So right here, Godzilla 2000 reaches back to that function. See how there's that pause there? I messed up here. So I can go here, function. He feeds on nuclear reactors, and yet and it's pretty seamless. He feeds on nuclear reactors, and yet his cells hold something that can defeat death. He is simultaneously the most destructive thing in the world and the most regenerative. He contains the catastrophe and the cure all at the same time. This film carries the This is a good place to put another clip in, I think. A good example would be something of Shinoda talking, kind of explaining this principle a bit better.
Godzilla fire. Doesn't make sense.
The first one shows clear signs of scar damage, but the second one is completely clear.
Same piece of skin?
Yeah, the photos were taken only 5 hours apart.
That's a remarkable healing speed.
These photos are of the Godzilla skin sample I found in Tokai. The first one shows clear signs of scar damage.
Let's actually chop this up a little bit. We'll do this. We'll zoom in, of course. Adjust. Let's actually lower the saturation a bit. Piss filter. And then we're also going to flip it too. There we go. Time.
These photos are of the Godzilla skin sample I found in Tokai. The first one shows clear signs of scar damage, but the second one is completely clear.
Same piece of skin?
Yeah, the photos were taken only 5 hours apart.
That's a remarkable healing speed.
This film carries the legacy of the 54 film in a really beautiful way, and it's one of the best aspects of the film, hands down. But is this movie really that good? And then we're going to do a little fade in. It might be a bit choppy, but I think it's going to work. All at the same time.
These photos are of the Godzilla skin sample I found in Tokai. The first one shows clear signs of scar damage, but the second one is completely clear.
Same piece of skin?
Yeah, the photos were taken only 5 hours apart.
That's a remarkable healing speed.
This film carries the legacy of the 54 film in a really beautiful way, and it's one of the best aspects of the film, hands down. But is this movie really hands down? No, it's fine. Another clip to kind of just again show that yes, here's why this is a good tribute to the original, right? I kind of like this one here.
But as long as the beer is cold, who cares?
You clap.
Not quite.
EO! Keep that antenna steady!
I don't hear that cabbage being.
Starlink has been pretty decent, if I'm being honest. The only thing that kind of sucks about it is live stream. When I first had it hooked up, my bitrate was super high because I used to have Spectrum. And so now that it's Starlink, I've had to actually lower the bitrate. I don't think it's too noticeable for you guys, though, if I'm being honest. I don't think, but yeah, I like it. I mean, I pay the full price for, like the max options. I can afford to do so, but I would recommend it personally. It's grown on me. I am kind of in the middle of nowhere, so that really helps too. I think that's a huge factor.
But I can promise no more than 300 tops.
I don't like it.
This clip is also a bit too long. Trim it by that. Oh, that already puts us in pretty good standing. So we're gonna go here. We'll mirror this. Add a little bit of a piss filter. Yeah, so I have all these on digital. All the movies I have digitally. But I also have all the movies at least on DVD or Blu-ray. It's a bit inconsistent at the minute. So, for example, like Godzilla vs. Biollante, I have the Blu-ray, don't have the DVD. Return of Godzilla, I just have the DVD, I don't have the Blu-ray. It's every movie's represented somehow. That's the best way I think I'd put it. I have the Criterion box set. I really want to go on Etsy and buy where it's like a normal DVD. Or normal case, I should say, because that'd be really great. I hate the book thing. I just want it on my shelf as a normal box set. But is this movie really that good? Does it deserve the praise that fans? But is this movie really that good? Does it deserve the praise that fans give it? Frankly, yeah. And then it'd be funny if we just go back to square one. Fans give it. Frankly, yeah. Frankly, in my opinion, yeah. Kinda. Sort. Kinda. Sorta. I don't know. Let's try to. What's the one Futurama clip? I never pull up Futurama clips ever. What is it? Where he's like, I am completely neutral. Yeah, here it is.
What are your thoughts on this momentous occasion? Your neutralness?
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
Perfect. Now I just gotta wait for my software here to boot up. There we go. So 4.9 megabyte file, and it's taking forever to download. There we go.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
Let's try to start with the positives here. Oh, you know what'd be funny is if I did this. I always like to do little edits like this. I haven't played the Ultraman card game, by the way. So other than that, I'm not really big into NASCAR or anything. I love the Cincinnati Bengals. I love the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm a big baseball, football fan. I do fantasy football every year. I've talked a bit about that on the channel. That's actually a really simple edit.
I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
Let's try to start with the positive. Love, generally, I don't know. Twilight Zone was already kind of brought up. Oh, Atlanta fan. Okay, cool. Gotcha. College football, I watch a little bit of. I like Memphis. I don't know why. I think it's just because they're Bengals, basically. Like, it's the Bengals helmet, but in a different color scheme. Family Guy. Fucking love Family Guy. My God. I do music as well. So, try to be as well-rounded as possible. Not just Godzilla. Production. Let's try to start with the positives here. The Godzilla prediction. Washington Huskies, hell yeah. I feel like I've played as them before in some college game. Let's try to start with the positives here. The Godzilla Prediction Network is a very smart structural choice. I like watching Shinoda and his daughter chase him down the way that storm chasers go after tornadoes, treating a 200-foot tall monster with the same procedural calm that you'd give an incoming weather system. I forgot how much I fly through the analysis portion of some of these videos. Weather system. At times it kind of feels like weather system. At times it kind of feels like Twister, but with Godzilla. I dig it. What I can't get past. Here, we'll do one of these. We'll go, let me look up the Twister poster, and we'll kind of just pull up that. Got to make sure it's the OG Twister and not the new one. Not that I have any issue with it. I haven't seen it, but for the sake of ease, I'd like to just make it the OG. There it is. At times, dig it. What I can't get past is Shinoda actually bringing his daughter along for these outings. I think he's a bad parent. He's irresponsible. A real story. Should show a quick clip of the daughter in danger as we highlight that he's a bad father. Backwards Bob, I remember that one. When I was a kid, I watched a a good chunk of Monster Jam. I think I even went to one as a kid, but I think that's about where it ends. I think he's a bad parent. He's irresponsible. A real storm chaser wouldn't bring their little ass kid into the middle of an active hurricane. And the film never once questions why Shinoda keeps doing exactly that. It comes across as recklessness dressed up as dedication. It's kind of cool though that Francois Chow, who it's kind of fun to voice. CapCut's super easy. I mean, I've been editing on Premiere most of my life. I started out in Windows Movie Maker, like every chud does, and then I went on to Sony Vegas for a little bit, and then I got my hands on Premiere, and then from there it was just constant. It was Premiere my whole life, and then DaVinci for a little bit, just for color grading on my Blackmagic, and then now it's CapCut. Nart Dog says, finally gave It Came From College Radio a listen, and Tom the Dreaded Sundown and Days Had to End are legitimately really good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We're working on album number 2, slowly but surely. I've got some songs down, got some demos done, so definitely more punk, more hard rock. There's still some pop stuff in there, but it's definitely more distorted guitars. It's more of a focused album, I think, for the second one. The next album is really going to be more focused, I think. A lot more lo-fi. So I'm excited. I'm excited to work on it. Voiced Shredder. It's kind of fun that the guy that voiced that. It comes across as recklessness dressed up as dedication. It's kind of fun that the guy that voiced Shinoda. I don't like that line delivery. He's doing exactly that. It's kind of fun that the guy that voiced Shinoda in the English dub also played Shredder in 1991's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. The comedy is where I start. Yeah, I will be going to G-Fest next year. That is 100% in the cards. Absolutely. The second tickets go live, I'm snatching them up. I'm getting a hotel. I'm staying again this weekend, or for the weekend. So, yeah, G-Fest 100%. I'd love to do a panel. Be great. So NASCAR. My mom was a big NASCAR fan when I was a little kid, and she loved Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon was her all-time favorite NASCAR driver. There's so many pictures of me as a kid where I'm wearing Jeff Gordon stuff, and she just adored that driver. That and Matt Kenseth. Those were her two favorites. I really didn't watch much NASCAR. It was always kind of on in the background, but I didn't really get too into it. I respect the hell out of it. People that say it's not a sport are complete idiots because there's so much mental prowess that you need to have. You need to be such a quick thinker. There's so much that goes into NASCAR, to driving. And yeah, I respect the hell out of it. The one NASCAR driver though that I do love is AJ Allmendinger, I think his name is. I just love his name. And he was number 99, I think, for a while. He drove the Aflac car. And I always wore 99 in Little League and stuff. That was like my favorite number. Before Aaron Judge wore 99. I don't know. I always loved that number. Because it was like the highest one, I don't have any high figures, actually. What was the one? Yeah, I would love to do a panel for sure. As soon as I'm able to, I'm going to pitch one to them that's kind of like Let's Argue Live, where people come up and give me their Let's Argue thoughts and their hot takes, and then my friends and I would kind of react to it. But the comedy is where I start losing patience with this movie. One scene built. It's kind of fun that the guy that voiced. Oh yeah, we got to pull up a clip of him, of the guy that played Shredder in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. All right, there we go. That's a clip. Throw it in there. And then what was the other thing? I thought the guy that voiced Shinoda, Secret of the Use. But the comedy is where I start losing patience with this movie. One scene builds in that. It's kind of fun that the guy that voiced... I'm not a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. My brother is, though, and I've always wanted to get him involved with some of my videos, so that'd be a really fun kind of collaboration to get him involved. It's kind of fun that the guy that voiced Shinoda in the English dub also played Shredder in 1991's. Ooh, I want to cut that just a bit quicker. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Use. The comedy is where I start losing patience with this movie. One scene builds an entire bit around with this movie. One scene builds an entire bit around a man giving a stranger directions while his coworker keeps getting smacked in the head every time he gestures which way to turn. We just had one of the coolest openings to any God. All right, now let's find that bit. I think I just saw it. No, I think it was here. It was like right after the intro. Yeah, here it is.
Diction Network?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Down that hallway, take the first left. Oh.
Okay, now I have a funny idea for an edit where it would just be like this one shot. And you just constantly just... I'm not gonna do it, but just like the Sherlock Holmes thing where he's like discombobulate, and they just keep cutting the discombobulate clip in.
Right?
Okay.
Then when you get to the end, turn right. Left. Right?
Okay.
Then when you get to the end, turn right.
We just had one of the coolest openings to any Godzilla. What's an annoying laugh sound that I could play? I'm not playing that. Okay, we're good. We're gonna lock in here. We're gonna just get this fucking video done. We just had one of the coolest openings to any Godzilla movie, and then we get this slapstick nonsense. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What's the full username? I just want to make sure I'm saying it real quick. Can I see the... There it is. Mr. John Doe 2626 or 2626. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You are the best. I appreciate it. Heart. There you go. Thank you. We just had one of the coolest openings to any Godzilla movie, and then we get this slapstick nonsense. And then we get... Okay, here we go. Any Godzilla movie. And then we get this Showa-era slapstick nonsense. This is where I really get off script. I really go full passionate in this part of the review. My God, here we go.
So you got it?
Yeah.
First left, then right.
Right. Got it.
Great.
Thanks.
Then right.
It reminds me of nonsense.
Got it?
Yeah.
First left, than right.
It reminds me of stuff that belonged in 1962's King Kong vs. Godzilla, or an Abbott and Costello movie, or maybe even the Three Stooges. I don't have a problem with that kind of comedy existing in this franchise, but in a movie like this, it feels totally bizarre. This movie is very bleak. This movie is very bleak at times, and I think the humor doesn't really do much to lighten that load. It just distracts from it more than anything. Richard Lester ran into this exact same problem. Oh, I forgot I brought it back to Superman 3. I swear I always bring up that goddamn movie every chance I get. Yeah, here we go. The opening credits. That's what I want to show. I'm not a big fan of Critical Drinker. I find his stuff to be very annoying in one note. I think most of his videos come down to this thing is la woke and it is la bad. And I think you can critique political stuff or political aspects of movies in an intelligent way. I get he's playing a character, but to me, I just want like substance, right? I want substance to videos that I watch. And I'm just not a big fan of very surface level. This thing is woke and that is bad. I don't know. That's like, for example, I have a video that's coming out about Terminator Dark Fate. It's about the whole franchise of Terminator as a whole, kind of like a rise and fall sort of thing. And I think a lot of nuance is required to talk about a movie like Dark Fate, just because it's such a poorly written movie with such ham-fisted garbage political shit in it. And I think just saying it's woke does a disservice to people that actually, I don't know, that want to hear real critiques of a movie. Dark Fate does suck. I think that it sucks for the people often just bring up the wrong reasons as to why I think it sucks, though. Richard Lester ran into this exact same problem when making Superman 3, where broad comedy kept crashing into the. And then we got to have the scene where it's the machine where she gets melded in. It's the most horrifying thing ever. I love how this video from 15 years ago. That is so funny. I'm looking at a clip of this, right? This is the actual one that I want. That's in HD. Computer turns ugly woman into freaky robot. Jesus Christ. I love Salvation. I love Salvation. Salvation is criminally underrated. It was marketed poorly. People often hate Salvation because of what it wasn't, right? It wasn't the purple laser war. That's what people wanted. I love Terminator Salvation. I think it's fantastic. It's not 1 or 2. It's nowhere near it, right? Like 1 and 2 are way up here in terms of quality. There's like all the way down here, then you got Salvation, and then you have 18 layers of shit, and then you have the rest of the movies. That's right. That's what I feel with Terminator. I think Salvation has a lot going for it, and I'm very excited to talk about it in my video because it's a really fun movie. It's got some great, not creature designs, but I guess Terminator designs in it. I love the direction, like the shot at the beginning where John Connor is in that helicopter, and when the helicopter is getting shot down, I just love how it like stays almost like the camera's locked on him as it's crashing. It feels so visceral and real. Just so much of it is just, I love how it's shot. I don't know. I'm an avid defender of Salvation. It's to the point where I'm baffled that people actually don't like Salvation. Okay, let me find the one of her getting sucked in. I can't remember. Did it already happen or not? Oh, there it is. My main issue with Dark Fate is that it the political stuff is just so weak. It's just the most like cookie cutter. It's so dated. It's peak like just Trump era politics, and 10 years from now it's already dated by today's standards. But it's just such surface level in your face political commentary. I don't mind if there's political stuff in a movie. The issue that I have with it is just that it's just boring. It's just like I don't know. It's so poorly structured with the way that it goes about it. It's so in your face. There's no subtlety whatsoever. There's no nuance. It should have stopped at 2, and I say that as someone who loves Salvation. Salvation I also love too, like you said, is the creativity. I mean, like it's not just the same movie being remade again. Like they actually tried something different in the franchise. You know, like it's wildly different from the other installments. It's not people going back in time and trying to, it's just future war stuff, and I like that. The movie's more dramatic scenes. Neither mode ever got room to land because the other kept interrupting it. Let me try to finish up this here. God, I wish it was Lex Luthor in that movie. Godzilla 2000 interrupting it. Godzilla 2000's prologue is about as grim as this franchise gets, and I love it. I wanted the film to trust that register enough to hold on to it, especially once Orga shows up. Orga is a genuinely unsettling creature. It deserved an atmosphere that once Orga shows up. Gets, and I love it. I wanted the film to trust that register enough to hold on to it, especially once Orga shows up. Orga is a genuinely unsettling creature. Let's show a little bit more of that prologue, I think. I want that missed shot of Godzilla looking in at them. Yeah, here it is. Oh, it's such a cool shot. Godzilla 2000's prologue is about as grim as this franchise gets, and I love it. I wanted the film to trust that register enough to hold on to it, especially once Orga shows up. Orga is a genuinely unsettling creature. You know what? Let's mark this. Boop, like there. And now let's find an Orga clip so I can just be lazy and reuse the same ones over and over again. Because I can't be bothered. Here it is. Copy. Yeah, I'll definitely be streaming Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee easily. As soon as that comes out, Zeth and I are probably going to do a joint live stream. Not another that was undercut by comedic relief every now and then. Something else I really don't like about this movie is its screenplay. Now and then. Something else I really don't like about this movie is its screenplay. It doesn't trust now and then. Something else I really don't like about this movie is its screenplay. It doesn't trust its human characters enough to dramatize what it wants you to understand about them. So it just has them say... I mean, with Seagal, I don't know if that's really in my wheelhouse. The best Seagal video that I've ever seen is the one on that Cumtown did. I know they didn't make the video, they just did the audio and then someone else kind of cut it up. But when you get a chance, look up Cumtown Steven Seagal. It's fucking hilarious. And about them. It's a hilarious video. It's so good. Understand about them. So it just has them say everything out loud. Katagiri and Yuji's out loud. Katagiri and Yuji's first scene together is the clearest example. These two men have real history together. The movie has every ingredient for a charged, loaded first meeting. It throws that material away by having both men stand next to each other and just recite their entire ideological conflict, like two op-ed writers restating positions for a reader who wasn't paying attention the first time. I did a whole hour-long video on Evangelion. I highly recommend you go check it out. I love Evangelion. All right, now let's find... Actually, no, we don't need... I keep pulling up the movie as if I didn't already talk about this, but... I love Misato. I know that she's gross towards Shinji, but I like Misato. All things considered, Misato is a cool character. She's flawed. I'm not saying I idolize her by any means, you know, but yeah, I know the reason I say what I say is just because I know that there's kind of a negative reception towards Misato. A lot of people view her as being a pedophile, but I don't know. I think there's more nuance to her than just that. I think that's a very one-dimensional way of looking at her, but I agree. She is the most human character.
Head of the CCI. Hello, Shinoda. It's been a long time.
Not long enough. I'd hope never to see you again.
Hello, Shinoda.
How long is this clip? 7 minutes? Fuck.
Hello, Shinoda. It's been a long time.
Not long enough. I'd hope never to see you again.
Everything about the conflict works very well on paper, but the execution flattens it into exposition. And that pattern repeats the human... Everything about this conflict works very well on paper. I think this part I screwed up a couple times. The execution just flattens it into exposition. And that pattern repeats throughout most of the human scenes. It breaks the...
I know. You and Miyasaka were a fine team. You should have come with him when I established CCI.
Not in 1,000 years.
You and Miyasaka were a fine team. You and Miyasaka were a fine team. You should have come with him when I established CCI.
Not in 1,000 years.
It breaks the rule of show, don't tell. This movie should basically be called Godzilla 2000, Tell, Don't Show. But when the movie does show, it shows. Whatever. What I'm getting at is the cinematography. Favorite angel. I love the very first one that shows up. I don't know. It's so creepy looking. I dig it. The Kiryu Eva colored models. God, I almost bought, like, I don't know if it was an X Plus or what it was, but it was at G Fest. It was like the giant Eva colored Mechagodzilla Kiryu, and it was like $450, and I was like, man, do I do that? Do I drop money on that? And it was gone by the time I could even consider spending that level of money. What I'm getting at is the cinematography and the suit performance is where this movie hits its highest level of craft. Seriously, this is some of the best Godzilla. Oh, okay. I paused kind of weird there. I assumed I fucked up the line. All right, now let's show some of the best cinematography in this entire movie, which is going to be easy because it's a gorgeous looking movie. Yeah, that was the bitch part about making that retrospective on Evangelion was I was like, I pretty much just said like, look, I'm probably gonna fuck up all the pronunciations. I'm sorry. I haven't seen Brand New Day yet. I was gonna see it the other I think it was Tuesday. And I was like, I just want a quiet night and I didn't want to go out to a theater. What I'm getting at is the cinematography and the suit performance is where this movie hits its highest level of craft. Seriously, that's a bit long of a shot to kind of linger on, but I don't really care. Level of craft. Seriously, this is some of the best Godzilla stuff in any God. Seriously, this is some of the best. Oh, I did screw up the line. I remember screwing that line up. Craft. Seriously, this is some of the best Godzilla action and setting. Okay, I keep screwing up the line because I'm an idiot. Level of craft. Seriously, this is some of the best Godzilla material in any Godzilla movie, maybe ever. The opening leans hard. The opening leans. We are at the 20-minute mark. We got 6 minutes. Let's power through this. We're getting this video done. We're getting the video done, boys. I don't care what it takes. Smoke and mist to obscure and reveal Godzilla in pieces. The shot of him slowly leaning toward the van. That's not the shot I wanted. Is this it? That's the shot I want. We're gonna speed run this edit. The opening leans hard on smoke and mist to obscure and reveal Godzilla in pieces. Favorite Godzilla toy line, movie monster series, X Plus, and Bandai. Those are my favorites. The shot of him slowly leaning toward the van, slowly resolving out of the fog, might be my favorite single Godzilla shot in the entire series. I'm agreeing with you, by the way, about Misato. I think it's just surface level observations about who she is as a person. I think that it's just people seeing a couple frames of like the first episode and they're like, oh, that's weird. That makes me uncomfortable. I don't know. Low angles do a lot of the same work throughout the film. I know the exact shot I want here. It's right there. Perfect. The film selling a man in a rubber suit as a 100+ foot monster without the camera ever needing to explain how. But none of that framing would make. Most wanted movie monster series figure released or unmade. I want quality Kaiser Ghidorah. I want one that's closer to the 2004 release. I wish they would just re-release that. The one that came out recently is just garbage. Let's see, which ones do I really, really want that I've thought about? Because I've kind of just splurged and purchased all the ones that I've really wanted, either through eBay or whatever. And most have been re-released. I think I've been fortunate enough to kind of been collecting too at a point where I'm able to get the ones that I want when I wanted them. I don't know. I think I really want a good 1967 Son of Godzilla movie monster series figure. I have the one from Son of Godzilla where it's him and Minya cuddling in the snow, but I want like a more high quality Godzilla 1967 figure. How? But none of that framing would matter if the suit itself weren't this good. And yeah, give me a good Cretaceous Ghidorah figure. That'd be sweet. The Godzilla 2000 suit is one of the best designs the franchise has ever produced. Now let's find some high quality pictures of the Godzilla 2000 suit. If Wikizilla loads. There we go. Yeah, I really want a good Amanda design or Amanda figure as well. All right. Give me. I've already used that. There we go. This is. I want more of the spines being shown. That's pretty damn good. I think that's as good as we're gonna get. The posture, the way this. But none of that framing would matter if the suit itself weren't this good. And the Godzilla 2000 suit is one of the best designs the franchise has ever produced. The proportions, the pot. I love Ghidorah from 1991, the Godzilla versus King Ghidorah suit. I love how it looks. It hits every right sort of like it ticks every box basically that I'm looking for in a King Ghidorah design, and it looks great. I love it. The way the spines catch light and shadow, and even the way they kind of jiggle every now and then, it is amazing. It's intimidating. I love it. Cinematographer Yudai Kato deserves it. Cinematographer Yudai Kato deserves a huge. Cinematographer Yude Kato deserves a huge amount of respect for how deliberately all of it is shot and framed. One of the best shot Godzilla movies ever, hands down. But there are some shots that look pretty bad. Do I think the Godzilla dorsal fins and Godzilla X Kong? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are inspired by Godzilla 2000. Framed. One of the best shot Godzilla movies ever, hands down. But we'll do one of these funny tracking edits. I always love doing this. Yeah, I made a video all about how much I don't like power scaling down. But there are some shots. I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of the YouTuber Chris Raygun? He used to do edits like these all the time in his old videos. I don't even know if he still makes. I know he does his podcast, but those videos were so influential for me growing up. Just that editing style, where like the camera would like lock onto him whenever he'd be like doing something. But there are some shots that look pretty bad. For every god tier shot that I want framed on my wall, you have the wide shot of Godzilla walking toward the. All right, let's pull some more great shots from this movie just for contrasting it. Like look at this one. This one's so cool. For every god tier shot that I want framed on my wall, you have the wide shot of Godzilla walking toward the camera where the frame pulls back. I feel like I already talked about this. Might have to kind of skim. I think it was when I was talking about the military, right? There it is. the wide shot of Godzilla walking toward the camera where the frame pulls back and the compositing gives itself away as being a very rough green screen shot. Ahead of its time? Sure. Are they trying to push the boundaries? Absolutely. But it just doesn't work for me. I think this would really benefit too from having more of a, like having it zoomed in on the legs and we just stay on them. Gives itself away as being a very rough green screen shot. Ahead of its time? Sure. Are they trying to push the boundaries? Absolutely. But it just doesn't work for me. We're also going to stretch it out just to make it so you kind of take it all in. Smooth, slow-mo. I just realized I have my fan going in here. I hope that isn't screwing up my sound at all. Rough green screen shot. Ahead of its time? Sure. Are they trying to push the boundaries? Absolutely. But it just doesn't work for me. Okay, smooth green screen shot. Ahead of its time? Sure. Are they trying to push the boundaries? Absolutely. But it just doesn't work for me, especially on repeat viewings. It stands out like a sore thumb among the amazing shots that we got previously. The underwater sequence has a similar problem from a different angle. Oh yeah, you are on top of this because I am just about to talk about the CGI in this movie and how rough it is. Oh, good lord. I think I used it in the plot summary section. Did I not? There it is. Looks like shit. I'm sorry. I know they're trying their best here, but for a movie that's trying to give the middle finger to Godzilla 98 for relying so heavily on CGI, Godzilla 98 CGI just mogs that shot hands down. Now, neither shot ruins the movie outright. Yeah, I went there. I'm praising 98 over this movie. That's probably going to be the one hot take that people might disagree with. Oh, perfect. I'll even show the one of it underwater as like a look at how bad this is. Like they mogged you. Let me just find it first. I think I already went past it. Yeah, I did. It's back here. There it is. I think this is probably the best representation. Godzilla 98 CGI just mogs that shot hands down. Okay, I don't like how long that pause was. Hands down. Now, neither shot ruins the movie outright. Have I done any film studio tours? God, I remember back in the day I did the one where it was yeah, they shy away from it. I'd rather they shy away from the Godzilla 2000 one. That's just bad filmmaking, if I'm being honest. Like from Toho, like they should have just not shown it as much if they knew it was bad, which I feel like they just maybe they didn't. I don't know, but it does not hold up. Like, Toho knows how to hide bad effects. They did it for most of the Godzilla movies. Like, they knew they couldn't just film something just, you know, blankly with no lighting or anything. Like, this is garbage. But if they maybe concealed him a bit more and didn't have the camera right up next to such a poorly rendered CG model, then it might look pretty good. Yeah, at a certain point, it's kind of like, well, sure, I'm sure, you know, they framed it differently, but that's part of the criticism is that they framed it poorly. Looks like shit. For a movie that's trying to give the middle finger to Godzilla 98, yeah, it looks like a video game. It looks like Save the Earth. It looks like the underwater level. For relying so heavily on CGI, Godzilla 98 CGI just mogs that shot hands down. Now, neither shot ruins the movie. I'm sorry. I know they're trying their best here, but for a movie that's trying to give the middle finger to God, but for a movie that's trying to give the middle finger to Godzilla 98 for relying so heavily on CGI, Godzilla 98 CGI just mogs that shot hands down. Now, neither shot ruins the movie outright. I think they're very small blemishes on a film that is packed with some of the best composed Godzilla cinematography that this franchise has ever produced. I just have to point that out because that's kind of my job. Orga might be the best piece of pure monster design this movie produces, and I think the fan base honestly undersells it at times. Everything about the creature feels alien. Let me go back, find some more Orga stuff. I'm getting this goddamn video done if it's the last thing I do. I'll be so happy if I can finish it tonight. I would just be incredible. On a film that is packed with some of the best composed Godzilla out. I have work in the morning, dude. I gotta be up in like 5 hours. Orga might be the best piece of pure monster design this movie produces. And I think the fan base honestly undersells it at times. Right on. Thank you for stopping by, dude. I appreciate it. Oh, didn't want to do that. I love how its neck and head looks right there. Mass, the sense that you're looking at something that was never supposed to have a body in the first place. I'm locked in right now. I got 4 minutes left of this video and then it's done. It feels wrong and uncanny, and I love it. I just know I'm so close to this being done. My God. I can go to bed and hit export. The sense that you're looking at something that was never supposed to have a body in the first place. It feels wrong and uncanny. Yeah, I just mean like this right there. Like, I love how that looks. That's almost like a turtle shell in a way. I don't know. It's like outstretched. It feels wrong and uncanny, and I love it. I love when the military or even another monster tries new and inventive ways to kill Godzilla. And trying to eat Godzilla is definitely a new one. I forgot I made this joke. Oh my God. I feel like I made it a couple times, so we're gonna have to kind of like chop this up and really just make the edit work. I also want to quickly mark this. Let me remove this marker. And then I want to find the one where he's actually eating Godzilla, the one that I used in the plot summary. There it is. Go back to here. I love when the and trying to eat Godzilla is definitely a new one. I'm kind of wondering how many fetishes this created in certain people because, good lord, do not look up Godzilla being swallowed. You will see the most disgusting shit imaginable. I know there's probably some perverts out there that are watching this that. I know there's probably some people out there that love that crap. I'm looking at them right now. Yes, you right there that are watching this video, I know you enjoy that crap. Jokes aside, I feel like that bit went on for a bit long. Let me try to kind of tighten it. Imaginable. I know there's probably some people out there that love that crap. I'm looking at them right now. Yes, you right there that are watching this video, I know you enjoy that crap. Jokes aside, certain people. Jokes aside, it's honestly a shame that Toho never brought Orga back for a rematch. Oh, I got 5. Okay. Jokes aside, though, it's honest. Thanks, Lizard Boy G. I appreciate you stopping by. Crap. Jokes aside, though, it's honestly a shame that Toho never brought Orga back for a proper rematch. Sure, he showed up in rematch. Sure, he showed up in the anime trilogy very briefly in one shot, but come on, bring Orga back. The character rules, and in general, I would love to see more Orga representation in merchandise. All right, I'm so locked in right now. Good lord. We are getting this fucking video done. There it is. God, CapCut is so slow right now. Rematch. Sure, he showed up in the anime trilogy very briefly in one shot, but come on, bring Orga back. The character rules, and in general, I would love to see more Orga representation in merchandise. It's pretty difficult. In merchandise, it's pretty difficult getting your hands on some quality Orga merch. I have like one Movie Monster series figure that I had to pay an arm and a leg for. I would love to see more Orga in general. Toho, please stop ignoring this monster. Orga is fucking cool. Overall, Godzilla 2000 brought the franchise back to where it needed to be. It saved its Godzilla's reputation and would allow
What the hell happened there?
Godzilla as it saved Godzilla where it needed to be. Godzilla's reputation to be. It saved Godzilla's reputation and would allow for more Japanese films to be made in the early 2000s. It's just a shame that a lot of those early 2000s films are I can't remember. I don't think I saved Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. That's more than okay. I mean, I know I have it saved on a hard drive. I just don't have it on this hard drive at the minute. Let me see the Baragon fight. It's just a shame that and would allow for more Japanese films to be made in the early 2000s. These films to be made in the early 2000s. It's just a shame that a lot of those early 2000s films are such a mixed bag. But that doesn't matter because Godzilla But that doesn't matter because Godzilla is back. I already did a retrospective on Evangelion. It's already up on the channel. I think I did it about a year ago. Highly recommend you go check it out. And end with a shot of him roaring or something. And with all that oh, wait, that's GMK. Give me here. We're going to find one more of him roaring. I'm sure there's one somewhere. Oh, you're good, dude. I mean, I've put out, what, like 300 plus videos? It's not hard, or it's not easy to find some of my shit. I completely get it. And with all that out of the way, I'm Cole McCormick. You're watching Firewood Media. This video is just one small part of a massive ongoing retrospective project where I revisit and review every single Godzilla movie and TV show. If you're new to the channel, I've covered every prior entry from this point in the series history. Yes, every movie, every TV show. I even talked about Zone Fighter, so I highly recommend you go back and give those a watch. And if you're a returning channel viewer, welcome back. The Godzilla retrospectives have returned. I know a lot of people were disappointed that I went on a bit of a hiatus from making these videos, but between the research, the writing, the filming, the editing, each one takes a very long time to produce. I started this series all the way back in early 2024 when I was still in college. I am now a homeowner, deep in a real-world 9-to-5 career. I did not expect this series to take this long to produce, but we're finally in the home stretch. It's kind of funny to think that I was originally going to just release this entire... Yep, I love Inframan. I have a bootleg DVD that I bought at G-Fest years ago. It's kind of funny to think that I was originally going to just release this entire retrospective series as one big video. I'm so glad I didn't, because it would mean that I would still be working on it 3 years later. I love Etrigan. It's great. I'll do a video on it eventually, for sure. Whole anime trilogy is going to be just one big video, because I feel like a lot of the issues kind of compound. It's the opposite, though, with the Kiryu movies, where I think those are good, and it compounds in quality, almost. Like, with that one, you go back, and like in my video, I reference both movies constantly, so to me it makes more sense to just make it all one big video. So it's like, oh, in this movie they did this, and then they also did this in that movie. It's just more of a cohesive viewing experience. I started writing this series all the way back in 2019, so most of this is just notes that I've written all the way back then, being reworked, rewritten, reviewed, the whole nine yards. The whole nine yards. I can't fathom the fact that I've spent 5+ years technically on this series. Regardless, my retrospectives on Godzilla vs. Megaguirus and GMK will be out next month in September, so stay tuned for that. The goal is to gradually month span. I know when I was covering the Showa era, I was posting these weekly, but my god, do I want to diversify my upload schedule and give myself more time to refine my content. Speaking of, if you like... I thought Singular Point had a lot of good ideas, it just wasn't executed all that well. Speaking of, if you like the content that I produce, consider subscribing or becoming a member to support the channel. It's only $1.
I'll have to revisit it, of course,
a
for
month,
the actual
and you get
video,
early
but
access to videos just like this one. You also get access to the Discord, exclusive one-off videos, the whole nine yards. It's pretty cool stuff. Either way, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.
peace out, mother. Oh, we're done. I got to add the channel member text, but otherwise, we're done. Holy crap. I can't believe we got this done. And okay. Okay. Now let me just add the channel member text. I'll make the font size a bit smaller. Boop. Now let me just snag that file that I have. Mr. John Doe 2626, you are getting you are going to be in the credits of this because you are just barely, it's like you just snuck right in because I'm pretty sure you joined while we were streaming. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. But yeah, you just narrowly made the cut, which is kind of cool. If you were any later, like if you had just joined right this second, or like right now, it would have completely been nullified. You wouldn't have been in the credits of this. So you made the cut. You made the cut. All right. Looks like Spire Talon got cut off. All right. So let me go here. So close to being done. Okay, so it's 11:07.
Speaking of, if you like the content that I produce, consider subscribing or becoming a member to support the channel. It's only $1.99 a month, and you get early access to videos just like this one. You also get access to the Discord, exclusive one-off videos, the whole nine yards. It's pretty cool stuff. Either way, thank you all so much for watching, and I will video done. We are done. Oh. Export. We're done. And look at that. That's 8.84 gigabytes. Someone asked me how long or how big the file size is. That's how long it is. Or that's how big it is. 8 gigabytes. Because it's going to be 8K. We're done. Hitting export. This is going to be going all night. So channel members, it'll be available to you as soon as this is done. It's probably going to be a while. All right. We're done. I'm going to bed. It's midnight. I've never stayed up this late on a work night before, especially for YouTube stuff, but it was very much worth it. Thank you all so much for staying with me. Because, oh God, I'm so happy that this is done. I'm so happy the video's done. Took me, I think, I clocked all this, or timed it. So however long the last live stream was, I think it was about 2.5 hours. This is about, what is it, 2 hours 43. So Nart Dog, to answer your question, this took about 5 hours and roughly 10, 15 minutes to edit the whole thing. Which isn't much if you think about it. Like if I was working a full 9 to 5, and if you don't count editing, I could just do this. But regardless, we're done. Good night, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining the stream. I'm going to be streaming more. I'm going to be doing more editing streams. This has been a lot of fun. I'm going to do more than just editing streams as well. I've got some kaiju games that I found on Steam. I've got just general games on Steam that I really want to play. So if that interests you, I'll see you in the next one. Either way, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. See ya. Bye.